Alright, hey everyone, Jordan here. So in this video today, I wanted to talk about being okay with boys having what's seen as girl attributes or, feminine attributes. Of course, though, I'm going to go over my own story with this. And that being said as well, this can also be applied to girls having boy attributes or, masculine attributes. So the reasoning behind this video is because I have felt shame for years over little things that I thoroughly enjoy, and due to instances that happened to me as a child, it affected the way I would go about things from that time up till I was an adult. And the thing is that I didn't realize this, but that right there is a form of trauma. I always thought trauma came only in the form of abuse, but I have learned that it can be caused by little moments that may pass you by. For me, I never noticed some of these moments until 20 plus years later. And anyways, I just wanted to talk about a couple of these moments that I recognized that really affected a lot of my choices or the things that I like over the last 20 plus years. So to start off, I wanted to ask, how many of you have seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie? First off, I loved it. It was amazing. What were your thoughts on it? You're probably wondering why I'm asking that, and just hear me out. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. When I grew up, my brothers and I always played video games, games such as Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Super Mario, Paper Mario, my personal favorite, and so on. Whenever I played any of the multiplayer Mario games, I would always switch off between Yoshi and Peach. And of course, I never really thought too much about it, but when I do think about it now, I do remember myself picking Yoshi more than Peach because he was my beard. I know, for those that know, that term is used for dating purposes, but hear me out. So I'll explain the word first. So the term beard means when a gay man dates a woman to seem straight. So for many years, any of the girls I ever dated were my beard. But in this case, I was using it in the form of playing a fictional video game character. And so I remember for the longest time, Yoshi just became my go-to character. But whenever he was chosen by someone else, I was always fine choosing Princess Peach. However, I would tell people that, Yoshi was my favorite, and that he was my first choice. And I don't really think I was lying about that, but I knew down under that I would have been made fun of had I automatically chosen Peach first. Over time, as much as I loved Yoshi deep down, I felt a part of me leaning more towards the female characters in these games and other games that I played. But for some odd reason, I always felt inclined to play him. Though my love for this character never changed, on the other hand, I definitely didn't like the pressure I put on myself in order to make everyone else comfortable. From time to time as well, I would run into someone who would make fun of my love for Princess Peach, and this made me feel ashamed. I felt ashamed for liking this fictional character. And, because of that, I wouldn't choose her as often as I would have liked. And, since then, since all of that pressure that I've been able to get over, with the evolution of video games, I was able to start choosing Princess Peach more often while still trying to play, my favorite dinosaur. But yeah, I mean, it's like these simple things that would come up during this time that I just didn't know how to respond to, and the best way I could respond was by, respecting these people's thoughts and their comforts. Like, oh, you're a guy, like, why your favorite character should not be a princess. And so because of these thoughts that I put on myself, and because of these words that other kids would tell me, I refrained from showing that side of myself when around them. I know a big part of it too, especially in my teenage years, was because I did not want to come across as feminine or gay. And that is also the reason why I never told people my favorite color was pink. And I'm going to get into that story right now, because there was an incident back in, I think it was around first grade, where I made an All About Me poster. And for those that know, these All About Me posters were, you would make this big old poster with pictures of yourself and then facts about you. And I remember having all these fun pictures, all of these fun things that I wanted to share with the class. And, I remember one of my facts that I had was that my favorite color was pink. And anyways, I had this poster laminated, and I was really proud of how it turned out, of just the work that I put into it, and I was really excited to get to share this with the rest of the kids in my class. However, when I brought it to class, I recognized that, well, I didn't recognize at the time, but there was another kid that came up to me before I presented, and he told me that, oh, pink is a girl's color. And because of that little moment, I remember I tried so hard to erase that off my poster, but I couldn't because it was laminated. And I took a washable marker and tried coloring on it, but that obviously didn't work either. And so when it came time to present, I told people that I accidentally wrote pink when it should have been blue. So that was the same thing there. Blue helped me hide that part of me that I didn't want people to see. Like, kind of going back, I still love Yoshi. I still love the color blue. However, again, that character and this color played a big part in hiding this identity that I was so ashamed to reveal to people. And so, I kept myself hidden, in that way. I hid from those characters the things I truly loved, and didn't give people my truth, but only, what they wanted to hear. So what I'm getting down to is that if you have any boys or girls that show the attributes of the opposite sex, just, let them be. That's something that they're recognizing, if that's something that they show regularly, that's okay. I'm not going to tell you how to parent, because, that that's not my place. But, I guess what I'm telling you is that I wish growing up I had been told that these things that I enjoyed was okay. That if I wanted to play with a Barbie, like, I would be fine playing with a Barbie. I was always into Beanie Babies, which was another thing I was made fun of for. I wasn't big into playing with the Army Men or Legos or any of that, and that was something that people recognize and would put against me. But had it not been for all that shame, like maybe I wouldn't have had such a hard time coming to recognize who I am as a person growing up, and only pointing out the flaws that I thought I had. If you can't accept all of your kids' quirks now while they're young, I don't think it's right to expect them to grow up and accept you for who you are if you weren't able to accept them for who they were as kids. Everyone wants to be surrounded by those that love them for who they are, whether that be gay, African American, LDS, Asian, transgender, bisexual, atheist, someone that's covered in tattoos or piercings. Everyone just wants that love. They just want to feel accepted for who they are, what they like. Don't choose what parts of that person you don't love. You either choose to love them as a whole person or you don't. That's just as simple as it is. I've had the opportunity to meet so many people, and that thing we all have in common is that desire to be recognized and loved by other individuals. Recognize who you are as a person and love yourself, and use that same love to love everyone else. It's not always easy. I understand that. However, I do feel it's important that it is something we try our best to do on a daily basis. I'm Jordan Jasmer. My favorite color is pink. My favorite singers are Shawn Mendes and Taylor Swift. My favorite animal is a zebra. The Good Dinosaur is my favorite Disney Pixar movie. And I also adore the live-action Cinderella, and I actually really loved the new rendition of The Little Mermaid. And I also love the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Super Mario Bros. Movie will also make that list too. My favorite, one of my other favorite Marvel characters is Scarlet Witch. And my favorite Disney princess is one that is not considered an official princess, but in my book she is, and that's Jane Porter from Tarzan. And I feel like if I were the love baby of anyone, it would be Ron Swanson and Anthony Porowski. And to end it off, my favorite video game character is Princess Peach. Keep telling your truth. You are brave being vulnerable. And for me, I think that being gay is a blessing. And it's something that I am thankful for every single day.